minus kwako.
Since there's Nokia today, reset has to be HTC, then reset is iPhone, then
So that is minus. We're good to go. Where am minus? But to the positive.
I'm just fed up.
Hey, hi. Welcome. Season 2, huh?
yeah, I was expecting to see someone here.
Like a guest?
Yeah.
No, I think we prepare ourselves and then we actually get our ducks in a row and then bring guests in. And we've got to do that list of people who would actually want to come. And
The hit list.
yeah, and actually talk to you.
Schindler's List.
People actually want to talk to you.
To me.
Yeah. Nobody wants to talk to me. Season 1 has got a lot of things that came out is that, people want to talk to you.
No, why me?
Because you talk 3/4 of the time. You know, especially when you change your gear and you start saying things like, here's the deal. It's just, everything just kind of gets into this sort of zone, totally different zone. And, since you're the
what?
The guru,
Guru
you come
what?
up with all these words that everybody keeps using and is picked up on. A couple of people that I was speaking to have used a lot of the phrases that you have used, actually. One person said to me is that I can't listen to your show anymore. And I said, why? He says, well, you just make everybody stereotypical. And I said, yeah, that sounds very much like something Vusa would do. He would put everybody into some sort of box, whatever it might be. Anyway.
Hang.
Season 2.
Bring it back.
Can't waste time, man. We promised ourselves that we reduce the length of our show.
No, you promised yourself.
Yes.
We do not have a collective
so I'm
definition.
going to walk out after
You see,
30
this is the issue that
I'm gonna walk
this is
out
the
after
issue that
30
we had
minutes.
season 1 about collective definition.
I'm fed up.
Yeah, say whatever you want to say. Shame. No, rewind. You said what? That they can't listen because of what I was saying.
Can we get into the show now?
Yeah, look, whatever. What we're gonna talk, what you've just said,
yes.
I'm gonna highlight on that when we talk what we'll talk about.
Excellent,
but anyway,
fantastic.
Yeah. So
you had a title.
Rewind.
You had a title.
Rewind. Chris, stop dodging.
Stagnancy.
Chris.
Chaos.
Chris. Let's not. Yeah.
Next time we should have a video.
Chris.
I think episode 5. Let's start doing video.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, you know I'll behave. Eh? I'll behave.
That's what we need.
So people are saying that I was putting people in a box.
You actually put them into stereotypical. I mean, you're the one who defined the ships. Remember?
They not factual?
You did the jelly babies. These are all cliché
The trip to
statements.
Cape Town.
You did the trip to Cape Town. That's the most famous one. Yeah, I remember somebody saying that. Hey, I need a trip to Cape Town.
Oh, in other words, they need to get a life.
Yeah, and I said, who you taking along with? So I just want that out there. So when we start having
is the dramas.
Yes, and I want people to come through. So our list, I think, as a preamble, our list will have to include religious people. And I call them people because, it's just a vocation that they've actually taken for themselves. Young people.
I'm still digesting the fact that I'm being accused of putting people in a box.
You're not accused. It's a fact. Young people, early 20s.
You know, when somebody says a statement like that, it means they agree with what has been said.
Why else would I bring it up?
But Chris, I don't do that.
Else would I bring it up?
Stereotyping folk.
Yeah.
No, the ships were not a stereotype. It was letting you know what's there.
Okay. So when you stereotype, what is that?
Stereotyping is grouping people to say, regardless of what environment they grow up in, they're going to turn out like that.
Okay,
That's
so
being
you just put
stereotypical.
bigger words into what you said about putting people where they are.
No, the ships is what people are doing and where they are.
Yes.
It's not a stereotype.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you see a black guy walking, doesn't mean it's a black guy walking to come and rob you. That's stereotyping.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a black guy walking. I'm telling you it's a black guy walking. Left foot, right foot. You know what I mean? Come on.
What's the topic today?
Shucks.
What's the topic? You had a topic that you want to go with?
No, I didn't have a topic. We finished off season 1 talking. Well, didn't finish off.
I thought we did. We wrapped everything.
We wrapped everything off, and
Yes,
you brought about saying that stagnancy and chaos are one and the same thing, and I said no, they're not.
We've been off here for about a month, and this is all you were thinking about.
Yeah, but no, I thought about it from the moment you said it, and I was like, no, and then you just closed me because it was the last recording.
Second last recording.
And I was like, but this on. Yeah, you saying stagnancy and chaos are the same thing. They are not the same thing. They're two different things.
Okay.
Two different things. And
I think it'd be apt to tell us what it is because I think it would resonate with January. January is a month where people.
Hey, was it that long for you? Because you said a year.
Yes, it was. Yeah, this has been the longest.
But January flew.
For you, yeah, it was not a good one for me. No, I think I'm still in January. I think this is the 40th day in January for me. I'll start my year later on.
What are we on?
So go on, tell me, because I think it's going to resonate with a couple of things. I think I want to put it into context where everybody can understand it, because you got this very lofty way of explaining stuff, Mr. Dictionary. So we're going to try and bring it and dumb it down quite a bit. This season.
I thought about that a lot.
Okay.
When we last episode.
Yes.
And do I really amplify stuff or make things a bit too difficult because I use different words?
Have you heard yourself?
Before I open my mouth, I always think about what I'm about to say.
Have you heard yourself?
Yeah, I listen to myself in the recording.
There are 18 episodes from season 1.
But it's just general English. I cannot say it's like, well, determine. I can't, consequence. I can't do that. Yeah, it's upbringing, I guess.
Cool. Let me throw something at you then. You say stagnancy.
Stagnancy and chaos are two
simplify
different
that.
things. What's stagnancy?
Yes. Don't even use the word stagnancy. Give me another word that will simplify that for it.
Slow moving, or non-moving, non-effectual.
There you go. You've just gone 4. I'm waiting for the next one. It's like a thesaurus.
No, but Chris, you know what I mean? Come on, guys. But that's what stagnancy is.
Non-moving. Let's stick with non-moving. Leave your tablet for a while.
No, because you asked me to come prepared,
Oh, wait.
So I just wrote some notes. Chris. Okay. Just wrote some notes.
This is why we need video, because he then opens up his tablet and his
I wrote
tablet's got notes for 7 days.
Stagnancy, not flowing in a current or a stream, without inflow and without outflow. Not advancing or developing. That's stagnant.
Okay, I like that. Not advancing or developing.
Not advancing or developing.
All right.
Stale. Mm-hmm. Long disuse.
Stale. Okay.
Long disuse.
Okay.
Yeah, that's stagnancy.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're going to elaborate on that for us?
No, that's as elaborate as it can get. I mean, that's what the dictionary said. And then chaos, a state, and I mentioned this the last time, a state of utter confusion.
Okay.
A blackout of mindset, a blackout of understanding.
Okay.
Yeah. And everybody can resonate with that. It was load shedding. It's just a complete blackout. That's chaos.
Nice.
Confusion. A confused mass or a confused mixture.
So
inherent unpredictability. That's chaos.
Okay. All right.
There is a difference.
Okay.
And sometimes you can use chaos as an abyss, where it's just
9 times out of 10 people can't even spell that word.
ABY. Chris, you see, you just create an environment for people to just say, "Hey, Chris, oh God, come on, Chris, come on." Okay, I want to say something. That's an offshoot, but it will come back to this. When after the last episode of season 1, I received feedback from an individual that got my contact about season 1. And as this cat said? He says to me, "Stop spreading your philosophies or your doctrine. Is promoting prostitution."
Okay.
And I said, and it was an app, and I said, I couldn't type, so I sent him a voice, and I said, "Hey, what? Where are you coming from, and what's your deal?" Because stop spreading it. It's right for it's promoting prostitution. And I just thought,
was he able to elaborate? Was he able
I had to then dig deep on who this cat was. All of us have ways of finding out information.
Okay.
What came to the fore was this individual was having dramas and having issues in his own personal environment.
Okay.
And he couldn't deal with how he was handling his environment.
Okay.
And so when we started going deep into explaining drop the bag,
the
the suicide issue,
Yeah.
And the one that you are now trying to label as my place of recognition, the ships.
The whole season 1 is you.
Chris, come on, man.
But I'm here. I'm listening.
I like to say, like, I'm here, like, you know, all of that. It then brought to his fore where he fell short. And so the quickest thing that anybody can do when faced with some sort of lack of personal desire to gain knowledge or to deal with their own issues is pick on something and someone.
Divert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Yeah, that's basic human nature.
Yeah, and that's what he did. And I was like, no.
Okay.
And then I had a chance to respond. And I said, I've now realized why you're coming at me. Handle your own shirt without the R.
They don't.
You know
they don't know you do that.
No, they don't.
No, they don't know you.
And I actually said that. I sent it a voice and I said, "You don't know me, and I don't know you." You know, I almost did the Taken thing, but I will find you, and I will kill
wherever you are.
Exactly. You know?
I will find you.
And I said, yeah. I think the producer will beep this. I said, guy, handle your own shit.
Okay.
I've realized that the issue is not me. I just expressed something.
Yeah.
And how you interpreted it is allowing you to say that and come at me. I'm just saying something. I said, you can't do that. You know what I mean?
Should we put a disclaimer in this?
No.
I've got a friend of mine who also does a podcast, and the first thing that they say all the time is that we're going to put a disclaimer. We're not philosophers, we're not psychiatrists, we're not doctors, we're not your parents. This is not advice for you.
We're not even your best friend.
No.
You know what I mean?
We're just two guys, and we say it in our description, that two guys who are fed up with a couple of things, and we're going to say.
What is that?
Exactly. So if you're going to take this as doctrine, or as some people would like to say, as religious in what it is, I think it's wrong. And I come to your defense, not because I'm your co-host, but purely from the simple fact that a lot of people have got a lot of things that they'll say. And once you bring yourself out into the open to attack someone, you're exposing yourself. You shouldn't.
And so I realized, I said, no. I said, no, handle your own shit, boss.
Yeah.
Before you come to me, I said, what I say is what I am thinking.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's what I'm processing.
Yeah.
And how you interpret it, that's your own issue.
Yeah.
But I've just said it out.
Yeah.
Full stop. Whether you take it or not, it's okay. Not everybody was paying attention when we were taught the quadratic equation. You know, minus b plus or minus square root, whatever. You know, not all of us were paying attention.
No, we weren't.
But there are those that kept it.
Yeah.
Not all of us were paying attention when we were doing technical drawing, and now it's called technical graphics. Not all of us were paying attention.
Yeah.
Some of them just threw it out.
Yep.
For me, it's taken me through, and now I can read whatever I want to read in terms of diagrammatic representation.
So would I say, is it chaos in this guy, or is it stagnation?
Right. We're going to get there.
Because I'm going to use a line that you used for me once when I was trying to build up a story. You says, what's the point of that story, man?
Did I say that?
Yes. I remember. I was
Actually, you know what? Yeah.
Up in the back.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because you went on and on. I was thinking, okay, just.
I was building the background.
Chris, you
so
go
this is the background for the podcast.
Right. So here's the story.
Yeah, because somebody has actually labeled it that you were pushing prostitution, and I think let's just clear that out.
I will never.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Promote prostitution.
Yeah.
It's against my ethics.
Yeah.
It's against my principles.
Yeah.
I have.
It's a strong word, bro. Prostitution, because that entails giving up for your body for financial gain.
Exactly.
Am I right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll never do that.
Yeah.
I've got too many individuals that look up to me with some sort of mentorship sort of mindset.
There is a big sort of mentorship following on that. Yeah.
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 I will never do that.
Yeah.
What I realized when we were doing season 1 was we were now beginning to talk, expose, divulge, release information of things that are happening on the ground.
100%.
And I've realized there's so many things that people are willing to whisper on and whisper about.
And sweep under the carpet.
And sweep under the carpet and not deal with it.
Yeah.
And we're not, I wasn't saying it so that people are forced to deal with it, but understand it.
Yeah.
And that's what's there.
Yeah. Because once you understand a problem, you're halfway there.
Exactly.
Solving it, yeah.
Let me put it, I'm not digressing from what we're going to talk about. I went to see a friend of mine. We're talking about there's an engine. There's a Mercedes engine that
Naturally. Mercedes-Benz, best on nothing.
The best on nothing, but we're talking about there's a specific engine that I was having a chat with him on, and he was releasing a lot of information. And then I looked at him. I said, "Yeah, but why are you telling me?" And he said, "Yeah, I know you're not going to steal my clients because I know your ethics.
How you stand, yeah.
Yeah. But the information I'm giving you, if you just go into Google, you will get the information.
Yeah.
But you and I are friends.
Yeah.
We can share."
Yeah.
And I looked at him, and those are one of the things that also encouraged me, that whenever somebody asks me a question, I'll go above and beyond to make sure when I respond, I tell them each and everything that's there. Because it's just information that's out there.
Yeah, that's your MO.
Yeah, it's information that's out there, which is exactly the same thing I'm doing in season 1. It's just we've got a platform to say whatever we said.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. You're entitled to. Not every preacher that preaches on a Sunday is going to have each and every congregant doing exactly what they said. But some of them say that's hogwash.
Yeah.
And some say, "Oh, that works."
Yeah.
You can't blame the preacher.
Yeah.
Blame the person that's listening.
Yeah.
But anyway, digress. I've been posting a lot of stuff on status.
Yes.
This guy responds, and his response was almost as trying to contradict or add on to what I'd have put on my status. And I wanted to respond to him and say, "Guy, these are my thoughts. It's not a doctrine." You know what I mean? But then I realized it may not go over his head, but it may get to a point where we just start an argument unnecessarily. It's a thought pattern.
But then
not a doctrine.
I want to challenge you on something. You're not a young, naive man. You have gone through life. You understand certain things. You are in a place of responsibility. Am I fair to say that? Because of your age and where you are. You run your business, so there's authority there. So there's authority that you exhibit without even thinking about it. Where it comes back, because I say this because it's quite critical in things like social media and everything else, and especially even what this guy was saying about you, is your level of authority. Doesn't that demand some sort of scrutiny that will be bound onto you? Once you put it on a status, it's a public domain where someone will pick it up. So you got to be prepared for somebody to come back and say, "I challenge that," every particular time. Because remember, your authority, as much as you might think is small, on average we get about 120 views on each podcast we send through. And to some people it might seem like it's ridiculous and it's small, but for where we're coming from, without even pushing it, this is just by word of mouth. It's actually good, and it'll grow. Season 2 will grow. There's authority there. So you are going to be under scrutiny. You got to be fair. One, for that guy that just came back with that statement, and even for the guy who came up and said, "You're in prostitution," because it, to me, immediately looks like, okay, so I've got authority here. And this is going to happen.
But authority is only valid to the one who feels as though they're inadequate to make a decision pertaining to that particular topic.
No. You exude the authority. You exude it. I disagree with that. And for me, I want you to understand that. It's the same thing as somebody comes up and says, there's this gymnast, Simone something, Bailey or Bowers, whatever, wonderful athlete. Then she says, my mental health is bad. Or Osaka, my mental health is bad. And somebody came out to me and said that, but it's your responsibility when you are in this sort of space for everything that you do say. We're going to hang on it. If you must have known, because the predecessors before you were in the same sort of space. And you have been a reluctant hero. In season 1, you're such a reluctant hero. I think you're even petrified for if we go video, because then everybody would then see his face and his gestures, and you understand that the full effect of what I see each time that I have to deal with.
I like the way you put emphasis on what I see.
Yes, I don't do anything. You notice my voice is always calm, level. It never goes up and down.
Chris, get to where you want to get to. Get you want to
see
get to.
See what I mean? Gosh. See what I mean?
No, it's
so there's authority in what you're saying. I say that because you've got to be responsible for all those responses that come back.
I'm not absolving myself of the responsibility.
It's not these people who listen to you or the ones that follow. It's not their responsibility. Their responsibility is their response. In the responsibility, their response.
Okay, yeah. So
yours is then the ability, because what you say is the hang on it because of the authority that you already exude. That's why when a preacher comes and someone goes, he's been caught with another chick, it's because you preached something of a doctrine which says that was wrong.
Yeah, but I'm not preaching a doctrine.
You are.
I'm not preaching which is what I want people to understand. It's not a doctrine. We're just exposing something that's happening there.
It's yours. The posts which we're going to put on FedUp Twitter feed, so that we get the response we're looking for, is they're potent. They're little gems that individuals miss with all the chaos and the stagnation that's happening in their lives right now. The things that they miss, and even my producer dropped some gems today.
No, he's deeper than.
He's quite deep.
He's
actually.
a deeper.
Yeah, that's what the D is for.
Ah, right. Yeah.
So it's by him sharing that you are passing on the fact of authority into it. You're saying you are making it. How can I put it? You're making yourself the tutor, and the person who's receiving becomes the student. So how they receive it is their problem, but you are responsible for that. That's why I say all the stuff when you put it out there has got an effect to either shake someone out of chaos and give them direction where it's not useless, or get them moving where it's not stagnating. It's just, what did you call it? An abyss, a black abyss. The first time I saw that word was in a movie. There was a movie called Abyss.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's my take on it. So it's not to say that it's a doctrine, but you hold authority. I didn't practice this.
No, you did, because you came out guns blazing right there.
I'm just very eloquent.
Okay, for those that
don't have the background,
I need of trying to figure out exactly what to do with yourselves. Please do not take this as some sort of doctrine, and
it's just the guy who's fed up.
Yeah, and say, like what those guys said. This is the lower management. I was just it tickles. There are a lot of things that people need to understand, the context behind stuff. Everybody's a product of their environment. Everybody's a product of their exposure. You cannot expect somebody to do 160 k's an hour when they've been used to 80 all their lives. It's not going to happen overnight, and that's what people need to understand. So this is just to expose that there is another gear in the gearbox. Stop torturing the other four. There is another gear, and that's what we're talking about. Anyway, stagnancy and chaos. My gosh, Chris, why did you have to go there, man? Snap. Just, and you have authority. Get a life.
Do you think you don't?
No, I don't. I'm just chilled out, boss. I'm one of those. I'm way out there. I'm way out left field. So chilled. If it wasn't for the fact that I've got a particular type of vehicle with a particular type of color that you can point from 100 meters away and say, that's him, then, you'd never check me out. I saw a guy yesterday. He's got one exactly like mine, but it's white. And I said, hey, I gotta go. Gotta drive it like I stole it. And then he goes to me, guy, it's just the exhaust is loud. It doesn't go that fast. And it was with his sister, and his sister's a good friend of mine. The
guy has the same car?
He has exactly the same type of car.
Okay.
Engine that works, except his is manual. His is automatic, mine is manual. Then he goes, no, man, they're just loud. I said, no, I drive mine like I stole it, boss. And then his sister goes, you've never seen this guy drive his car, And then this dude's wife goes, no, you must drive your car like my husband. I said, I can't drive that slow. But we've got the same sort of a setup, but it's just an interpretation of how you want to use it.
100%.
The stresses that I'm putting on mine because of the way I drive it, it's not that he can't handle it. He just won't do it. How many people... Oh, have you seen the new Land Cruiser?
Yes, I don't like it.
The previous generation looks better than the new one. Yes. The new one is... the older one is sexy.
But I'm sure the power is...
Gosh, no, the power is better because it's a smaller motor. Twin turbos, more torque, more.
For those who joined season 2, it's just a petrol head. I don't think we're going to call them that anymore. But he's into cars. His analogy is everything is based on a vehicle and an engine. You got lots of examples like that, especially season 1.
And I was having a chat with a friend, and we saw a cruiser, and then I said, this vehicle from factory. From the moment the last bolt was put on and they started the car and they tested it in the warehouse, in the factory, this vehicle is built, purpose-built to be off-road. Purpose-built. Off-road with comfort. purposely built.
That's its reason, yeah.
Yeah, that's its reason to exist. All these other artifacts, aircon, is just to excite CEOs and bosses and all that stuff. But it's purpose built to go off road. The majority of those vehicles that are being purchased by most of the people that we see here in this country, I'm not going to talk about any other country, in this country, its worst off-road experience will be slowing down to go round, not through, but round a pothole. That's it. The most amount of dirt it will have on it is when it rains and then it goes through a place that has a lot of dust.
100%.
And so, and then they looked at me and said, and what are you saying? I said, so many people fail to enjoy where they are, who they are, and why they are, because they do not see themselves as being purpose built for something. And it then flipped the script because I just took it left. I just took it left. You guys did the thing again. Come on. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah. I think in the description below, they'll understand what you guys were doing. But anyway, so many people forget the purpose in which they're in. And so what happens is they get to a point where they don't know whether they're coming or going. They're in a place of stagnancy.
Okay.
So when you don't know whether you're coming or whether you're going, you're in a place of stagnancy. Yeah. You are that cruiser that
underutilized.
Am I supposed to be here? Why am I here? You know what I mean? What's going on?
Yeah.
A lot of people are going through that, which is what I wanted to highlight. Episode 1, season 1. You just gave me enough time to think about it. It was trying to figure out, okay, so that's a stagnant part. What's the fudge? That's why we're fed up. What the fudge? There's stagnancy.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. It was I'm fed up. What the fudge? It's sex, love, sex, and money.
Yeah.
All of those places are places where you can get to a place of stagnancy.
Yeah.
Where there's no. Let me go back to the definition. I made sure I wrote it down. Where there's no flow, or there's no flow of a current or a stream.
Yeah.
Let me put it in layman's terms. When you switch on a switch, there's no light.
Yeah.
Not because there's load shedding,
but
there's no flow of current from the switch to the bulb.
Yeah.
So in that place of stagnancy, you have two choices. Does it bother you, or do you sort it out? Sorting it out is one story, but does it bother you? Then you get to a place where you become confused, chaos. But they're two totally different things.
So stagnancy precedes chaos.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think it does, but okay.
Stagnancy precedes chaos. Okay. Chaos doesn't precede.
There's no way I'm going to just agree with you. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Look, you and your
you've got the
iPad
nice mic.
and your dictionary.
No, guy, that's not dictionary. Look, any dictionary has this stuff.
I'm going through with just raw emotion of what it means to me. Basically.
That's where the problem is. That is where thank you very much. That is where the problem is. Too many people are reacting because of emotional dramas and emotional stress, but you don't think things through. That's where you get chaotic within your minds because you're
dictionary down, by having the dictionary.
No, by being prepared. Do you understand?
All I've just said is that I think there's a place where you can be stagnant purely because of a chaotic situation.
No.
Okay,
Zimbabwe. A chaotic situation is brought about through stagnancy.
No, I disagree.
Stagnancy is no flow.
Stagnancy means no flow. Okay.
There's no current.
Okay.
If you want to use Zim as an example.
Let's use Zim as an example.
Zim as an example, there's been no flow of order. You understand? There's been no flow when we were young.
Many eons ago.
When unicorns were still walking around.
There was a program called Funny Company.
And then it ends and goes, tell you.
I saw that, I was like, I'm old. I remember that. Funny Company.
If you're old when you can begin to recite everything. Remember from days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe comes a legend, and you knew the lions are joining out Voltron is then you're old. But anyway, I gave this example to my kids the other day.
Yes, give me an example.
I said to them when we had a power issue, it wasn't load shedding, there was a power fault.
A fault, yes.
I remember there was an evening. I was young. I think I was in grade 7 or something.
Yeah, back then there was no load shedding.
Yeah, there wasn't.
There were just faults.
All of a sudden, there's no power. My dad was like, "This is odd." You know, in hindsight, to us when there's no power, like, okay, it's happening again. But then my dad was like, "This is odd," and he takes a walk out the house. Our neighbors had power to the front, to the left, to the right. They had power across the street. The power, street lights were still on. You know, the novelty of street lights.
Yeah, kids don't know that.
You know, and I was like, "No, it's a fault." Picks up the phone. This was around 9:30.
A landline.
Landline. 9:30 in the evening. You know, 21:30 for those that are 24-hour oriented. And he calls. "Hi, is this electricity supply authority?" "Yes, we have no power. Something has happened." "Okay, your reference number is so and so. We are calling them. We're calling the team. Thank you very much." Within 30 minutes,
the team had arrived
because they were stationed around the city. A team had arrived. The guys came in. They saw, okay, everybody else has power. They pinpointed where the issue was.
Okay.
Thing went down at 9:30. By 10:30, we were back online.
Yeah.
Flow.
Okay, so there was a flow. Okay.
There was a flow.
All right, I'm with you.
As things went on, blame it on whatever. Nepotism, apathy, laziness, brain drain, whatever. Whatever tickles your fancy. That same situation happening now.
You have to physically go to the office. Yeah.
If at all they're going to allow you in. But if you get in, they say, no, the team has gone.
Yes.
We will let them know.
Okay.
No.
There's no feedback.
It has gone for fueling.
Yeah. Yes.
We do not have the spare parts. Mind you, we are prepaying. But anyway, we do not have the spare parts.
Do you want to buy the parts?
Yeah. We are willing to buy the part.
So that's the flow that's now disrupted. And now we have...
Because there's no flow, there's a stagnancy in terms of that. What then results is a situation where there's a need for the power.
Okay.
And you have then resorting to having an alternative plan.
Yeah. Solar panels, generators.
Yeah. And because of that, if you are not in a position to be able to make an alternative plan, the result is chaos.
Okay. That's your take.
But they're two different.
Okay. Can I run by that in my version so that people don't forget it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Cool. Chaos precedes stagnation.
Not at all.
Wait.
Okay.
By definition.
Oh no, you got your own mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
By definition, yes. And I got the nice mic again. This is great. Thanks. By definition, using your definitions, stagnation means there's no flow. What would to stop the flow is if something before it has blocked it. A simple analogy, right? The blockage we're talking about is something that's not usually that's there. Something that's in order. When something's not in order, it is... Oh, come on, play with me here.
Rewind.
Come on.
No, rewind.
Okay.
Rewind.
Stagnation, you say there's no flow.
I'm picking up every word because I'm going to catch you later.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you wish you will. I'm using your own man. By definition, your definition. Stagnation is when there's no flow. That's a simple one, right? And there's no flow, it means something is blocking it, right? When something is blocking it, it means that it's not what it used to be, right? That there's no order. Because order just makes everything work the way it was, which is flow. It's flowing. Yeah. So now we've got no order. When there's no order, there is... Come on, finish it for me. Can you see how jealous he is? I think we should have...
I'm not jealous.
Chaos.
No.
Let me finish it for you. Chaos. Can I finish?
Okay.
You got your own mic. You had your time. So when there's a chaotic situation, it stops
How
the
come I got
natural
the black man?
flow.
This is a racist podcast. Okay. Producer said it's a dope item.
It's new. Can't you see that it's new? This is why you always come out clearer on the podcast, actually.
Oh, because I get the new mic.
Yes. I just get a fancy looking one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So all that glitters is not gold.
Yeah.
The higher the gloss, the cheaper the merchandise.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still my words around true. So
anyway, you're saying
your flow is stopped.
You're saying chaos.
Yes,
is creating
precedes
stagnancy.
Yes, because it precedes stagnancy. Because stagnancy, you said, is the disruption of good flow.
No.
What disrupts flow?
Huh?
What disrupts a good flow?
Decision.
Thank you.
No, but it's got nothing to do with
Don't
chaos.
go noga. Don't go noga. You just said it. Don't go no.
Yeah, a decision.
Can I use your Zesa as an analogy?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So they had a system which used to flow very, very well.
Yeah.
People will respond.
Yeah.
People will be able to get the parts that they needed.
Yeah.
Faults will be taken care of.
Yeah.
Not faults, yeah? Will be taken care of. Then a chaotic situation happened. And the chaotic situation that happened was there was a lot of wrong people in the in the very wrong places. People with authority were placed in the wrong places. People that did not understand that this is how things flow. People who were out for getting their own selfish means. By that, they would then create a chaotic situation in the company itself, the one we're using, the power utility company, by taking out resources that would be used to make this all work properly. So instead of buying parts that would be preemptive of parts that are going to be replaced whenever there's a fault, they now didn't have them. They would actually buy bigger vehicles which had no use or whatever. They could drive to a situation where the fault was, but they would drive there with nothing to solve the problem with. Yeah. So allocation of resources was taken elsewhere, and resources would be HR, actual money itself, or even in planning that would actually put planning into these sort of situations. So they created chaos. It wasn't stagnant. It was a chaotic situation that they created. That in itself then created a stagnation that would come onto it. The stagnation would come is that there are no spare parts. There's no HR in the right places, the ones that you mentioned. You are talking about things that happen afterwards, especially when you talk about stagnation. And in Zimbabwe, January is the best definition of that. We have a chaotic month in December. It's short, it's sweet, it's very chaotic in that we don't see it ever ending, which is always our biggest problem as humans. We think December doesn't end. This is why we spend as much as we can. We have the silly season. They call it silly season, right? We just go overboard. Then January comes, where there's supposed to be a flow. School fees, guys, always going to come. School is going to open. Yeah, the new year is going to come. New things are going to be needed in definition of where we're going, especially for the next 12 months. What we're going to be doing, but we didn't see it then when we're in December. What usually happens, we have stagnation. That's why there's general disease. What's that general disease? Sticker. That's what general disease is. Sticker, and that colloquial slang converted back to your very eloquent Collins dictionary. We just say that you are not moving. I rest my case. I wish I would drop the mic here.
Oh, because you're upset with that mic. The withholding of resources, be it financial, be it mental, be it emotional, because I'm trying to cover everything: love, sex, and money. Be it physical, being financial, be it emotional, being spiritual, whatever you want to use. The withholding of that creates stagnancy.
Yes.
The diminishing of that creates stagnancy in order for you to...
The what?
The diminishing of those resources.
Okay. So if I look in all your definitions, I'm not diminishing.
I'm not... there's not... Look, it's blank. It's blank.
No.
I've switched the thing off. Now it's coming off the cuff. You understand? It's coming off the cuff. The diminishing or the holding back or the withholding or the lack of resources where they usually were coming through, that freeze creates stagnancy for you to be able to create the environment.
The freeze is the chaos.
No, man. The freeze is not the chaos. Okay? The freeze is not the chaos. The freeze is, let's use your December into January.
You're going to use mine?
Yeah. Because you went, let's let that slide. Because everybody went punk to the point where they diminished their resources. Yeah?
Yes.
And as they diminished their resources, there was a period of stagnancy.
Yes.
And that stagnancy was...
general disease.
Yeah, but that stagnancy now was because of lack of planning.
Good. Excellent. Wait.
You made me keep quiet.
It's too good to let go.
You made me keep quiet. You can hold on to it. You can hold on to it.
Hold on to your medicine.
Remember that Deerwood advert when they talk about fatso, Captain Plus 20, and they'd say he's big, he's firm on his stick and doesn't drip. We'll leave it there. But that was a nationwide jingle,
kids jingle.
It's firm and doesn't drip. I was just saying, and then somebody older looked at me and said, And I went to him and I thought, I said, oh snap. But anyway, we'll let that glide. Within that lull, where there were no resources, there were things that needed to be done and they were not planned adequately. And because you realize that you can't take the next step forward, and because of that, you get into a point of chaos. The light example, switch on, switch off, nothing is happening. How you deal with the fact that there's nothing there is what brings about the chaos. You understand? That moment, there's no
So
power.
your response to something is what brings on the chaos?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Your response to something.
Excellent.
Because you can have a situation of stagnancy. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't lead to chaos.
Yeah, because chaos precedes it. Yes.
No.
Okay, go on.
Stagnancy precedes chaos.
No, okay.
I tell you.
Give an example in a relationship situation.
I'm not going there because you just told me I stereotype people.
There you go. Excellent.
You see, so I'm not going there.
For those who don't know, this is why we need video. He's the more emotional one.
No, I'm not emotional. I'm just like, I'm not going to go there.
Did you hear? Now,
The difference-
if we were testing the levels of the, of the voice
I'm not going there.
and the pitch.
Okay, I'm going to go there.
Yes.
The differences between chaos and stagnancy is that one is a state of being while the other is a state of mind.
Okay.
Yeah. It's also, you can use it, it's the difference between definition and recognition, or the difference between a mindset and a mind game, or the difference between destiny changing or destiny defining.
What did I tell you? You brought those words back. I was waiting for them to be dropped.
They do not
That was
work
quicker than I anticipated. I thought we'd have this on episode 3.
No, I had to think about it because I was like, no, man, this is nonsense. You know, they don't work together, but one is led by the other.
Okay. I'm with that totally. It's just your order that really I'm not with totally.
Which, chaos and stagnancy.
Yes.
No, stagnancy, then chaos. Yeah? One is a state of mind, the other is a state of being.
So stagnancy is the state of?
Stagnancy is a state of, what did I read here? A state of mind. Stagnancy is a state of being.
Okay.
And that's a state of mind. It will, there's no power.
Yeah.
That's a state of being. That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But state of mind is how do you react to that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Okay.
Stagnancy then can be in that lull when you're trying to figure out where you belong. That's destiny defining or destiny changing.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny defining things, a state of mind. No, a state of mind. Destiny changing, the state of being.
Okay, so if I go back to the person who gave the line that you're creating prostitution or whatever it is, yeah. Chaotic or stagnant?
He, as an individual,
Was stagnant.
or she, as an individual, is in a state of stagnancy.
Of stagnancy, right?
Yeah. So how they are
that's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
No. How they are reacting by the outburst that I'm promoting prostitution is within themselves now because of a result of their stagnancy where they are, because they can't handle their own shit. They've created chaos in their immediate environment. So his stagnancy preceded the chaos.
I think that was a reaction.
No.
Yeah, coming on to you to say that this is based on this was a reaction. Was a reaction. Chaos creates the reaction that you're talking about.
Chaos is a state of utter confusion.
Yes.
Yeah, which you brought upon yourself because there was no flow and current. When we are at a traffic light,
and it's all going bing, bing, amber, bing,
and you
bing,
are
bing, bing, bing.
you're at a traffic light, it's red, and you're driving a manual shift, and you put the thing in first gear. Yeah. And you accelerate, and you put in second. And then for some reason your hand just decides to go punk, and when you assume you put in third, you put in fifth. All of a sudden,
yes. It misbehaves. Yes.
That lull in power, that stagnant moment in power, leads to the confusion of the driver. Of oh my gosh, what now? They can decide to black out and go into a state of chaos, and try and force something that shouldn't happen naturally. Oh, you remember, it shouldn't happen naturally. They force it. There are two things. There'll be no power for quite a bit,
Well, it builds up,
or it will just stall. Chaos because of how you reacted.
Okay.
Or you're in fifth and you realize, oh, silly me.
Change it down.
Put it back. And go into third. And you keep on going. Your reaction to that lull of stagnancy.
Yeah, but using your analogy, the chaos precedes itself because what caused that to jump from 3 to 5 was a chaotic situation.
It was a decision-making process.
What did you say about chaos just now?
Yeah. Chaos is a state of utter confusion.
Thank you.
But the confusion...
The confusion is a decision.
Here's the deal.
Confusion is a decision.
Your issue is you are trying to create I'm looking at stagnancy and confusion, stagnancy and chaos in regards to a situation. you are looking at stagnancy and confusion with the instigator. We are both reading the same book. It's just that you are reading the 4th edition. I'm on edition 1. I'm talking about the situation. Yes, the situation. A situation that's in chaos is bred about from a situation that was at stagnancy. Dropping the bag is because you've come from a place of you carrying too much that resulted in stagnancy. There was no traction. Then you drop the bag because you're getting to a place of chaos within yourself. The suicide topic we talked about. That's where we're coming from. The trip to Cape Town, the second co-pilot came from a place where your immediate environment of wanting to have somebody who's going to agree with your movements, there was a bit of stagnancy there, resulting in the fact that you needed someone to concur and confirm because a chaotic situation was arising. So you decide how to handle the stagnancy.
No, I'm not sold.
I'm not wanting to sell anything to
people
you.
might come whatever side they want to come with it, but for me, I think stagnancy comes from a chaotic situation.
Chaos comes about from a situation where it's an issue of the what's next function. That's where chaos comes in.
They say what's next.
It's the what's next.
Yeah, stagnancy is an action of what's next.
No.
You can either stop or do.
Chaos, within chaos, is when you're asking what's next. Not stagnancy. It's within chaos.
Stagnancy is a result. That's what I'm saying.
No. Stagnancy precedes chaos. Then within chaos,
because we're confused.
Now what? The what's next protocol, which you used to love saying in season 1.
What's next? Yes, yeah. I've got no problem.
Because what's next is in a situation of chaos. Okay, left or right?
Stagnancy or movement?
No. It's left or right. You're in stagnancy, which is breeding chaos. Then you ask yourself, what's next?
This is why
because the knowledge of knowing that you have to step into the unknown, that's the drama.
We need a guest.
Whatever. The knowledge of knowing that you have to step into the unknown, that's the drama.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Stagnancy now is a situation where you've reached a plateau of whatever environment you're in. You've reached limits and you're fed up. You're pissed off.
Yes.
You are annoyed.
Work, relationships, everything.
Everything that works. You're in gear number 3.
Yeah.
And the thing is revving 7,000. There's a what's next protocol. Within that, what's next? To get out of that, because you're now in a place of stagnancy. You're not going any faster. The thing is over revving. You've pushed to the limit. You've done whatever you can. There's no further flow. There's no more current. You've reached the peak. You will rev that thing. It's not going to go any faster. It's not going to give you any more torque. Just revving the thing. What's next? Because if you don't, there's going to be chaos. What's next? You've never been there before. You're just going to have to shift it. That's my anger.
Yeah. So I was talking to our producers that were coming that there's been a period of stagnancy for me for the last 2 months. I think December and January.
You?
Yeah.
No.
Hey?
No.
There has.
No, there.
Yeah, it's just not preview to everything detailed because I'm private.
No. You said for the past 2 months? No. For you?
Yes.
When did you come out of COVID?
Oh, is that what you think? From COVID times? Dude, that's September, October.
You've been in a lull. It came to the fore with what he said about the past 2 months, but you've been in a lull for quite a bit because you're going through a lot of stagnancy.
No, it's confusion. When I've been in a confused state, which was made worse by the other elements that I talked about, the events that have happened. And stagnancy for me has been this past 2 months, where usually I'll be reactive and move in a certain speed and decisiveness. It hasn't been there. That's what my argument is based on, is coming back from COVID, I was in a state of confusion. because all of a sudden I did not realize exactly, because I think my own mortality was questioned. And you're questioned. When we go around, we think that we won't die. There's a sense of immortality in us, purely based, and Christians, because we're made in His image, we think immortal. And humans, because we have offspring, we think we're immortal because by having offspring. But that process and time with COVID brought my mortality back into check and had me questioning, with a lot of confusion, a lot of things that were happening. The law that you mentioned, I think for me it's confusion. That's why my argument is based on, because I want to use that on a personal debate. There was a lot of confusion onto that. And then when I thought I'd figured out, more things happened, and it's been stagnant since. Stagnancy in that I'm not even moving in any direction whatsoever. It's not even up, down, whatever it is. It is actually free fall without even knowing whether it's up or down. That's why my argument is coming up, because the confusion itself brought me to a point where that sticker, I suppose, on Twitter, what I'm doing, and yet I should be at my prime of my wits, being able to say that I am knowing which direction I'm going. Before COVID, when you met me, you were like, okay, so you know what you want to do. Even in whatever situation I landed myself into, it was always that this is exactly what he's going to do. I've been stagnant. And it's not that there's no chaos now. It's just that it is just stagnant. Totally. That's why I'm saying that's always precision, because you get all the confusion, then you don't get a result. And when I say result, is that something that you're familiar with, to say that this is the route I'm taking. You don't. All you get is that, hey, I'm on a sticker. Then you're stagnant. You don't go anywhere else. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I use a very personal example here, because it's what I can relate with and what I can actually see. It doesn't come through that I didn't know where I was going. Then all of a sudden there's chaos. Yeah, some could say that because life keeps going. But for me, that's how I felt it. It was chaotic. Very, very chaotic. Reading on your own mortality, and then all of a sudden it's now stagnant. I'm not a disease.
Always at the time, always, and I'll say it when I wrote this down, at a time of regeneration, a time of a new year, a time of a new series, a time of a new something, a time of a of a gear change, there's always a need not to reprogram or to redefine, but to function.
To function.
Yeah, because function depicts definition. Sometimes we get to a point where you not stick and then you question. And you bring about within yourself a place of chaos.
Then I bring about a place of chaos. Okay, I'll go with that.
Because you bring within yourself chaos. As human beings, we are defined to create order. I don't want to go theological or whatever. That is our paramount function. Yeah. We create order.
Yeah. It's funny, even the criminals, the criminals have got more order than the people who are not criminals. Escobar had an order, bruh. You would know every gram was going. That drug dealer. Bruh. They are more methodical in all of this stuff than anything else. Criminals.
Everything. Okay, I'm going to pause. I was driving the other night and I stopped at a traffic light, and in front of me to my right there was a guy with a twin cab with a canopy. I'm just chilling, and then I look, some guy just rocks up
on foot,
walks to the canopy, he's trying to open the canopy. So I'm thinking, is this the driver who's trying to check that his canopy is locked? I peek in and the driver's there, oblivious to the passenger. I just hooted,
Yes.
Merc hooters are
they're loud
for days.
Yes.
So I'm beep. This thief just realizes, okay, snap, and walks like nothing happened. And I watched him. I was like, casually, you'd have no clue. No clue. Sorry, I digress. You reminded me when you said about criminals.
It's but that's just it. The order part you're talking about is it's systematic.
So I said you need to function. There's something that you said to me last year. I'll never forget it. Never ever forget it.
Wow, there's something that you actually picked from me. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's negative, whatever. You remembered something I said.
I don't know what I asked you or what I was talking about. And you said there'll always be limitless and endless possibilities in relation to the perspective that you have. That blew me away.
I remember. You need to buy me a drink.
It blew me away. I was like, what? And it is true for anything and everything. If I'm working on something, a major job, and I get to a point on one area, if it's an engine issue, I'll be like, okay, I'm stuck here, but I still got a lot of stuff to do, so let me leave it. I'll do all the other stuff that's more...
Then come back.
It's easier to work on, because one of the things that I like doing is I tackle the most difficult issues first to get that out of the way. The other stuff is very easy, very menial. It's more labor intensive. So when I get to a place where my mind is like, I'm not here, I'll leave that alone, deal with the other stuff. So while I'm hands-on here, it dawns on me, that's what I need to do over there. Which is the same thing that even happens in relationships, where you're like, okay, so what now?
We've done this, we've had the kids, we've done everything else.
So
what now?
What now? And then flip the script and look at the same situation and try and see it through the eyes of the other individual.
Yes.
And it then motivates you. And when you look it through the eyes of the other individual, what you're doing is you are understanding who that person is.
Yeah.
As an individual, not as who or what they are in this current situation.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you can analyze their viewpoint to see where you may have erred, if you have.
Yeah.
Or even if you haven't, but to see what they see.
Yeah.
And then you, space and time continuum, create an environment to allow them to see it, to allow the environment to cater to their needs. So what it does now, it propels you to do things to make that happen. But as you're doing that, energy, creation, forces, call it whatever you will satisfy your desire to fulfill that need by creating other things to fulfill your need.
More possibilities.
Yeah. For me, that just blew me away. So you find it's then easy to appear to do the most in one particular arena, not knowing that there are other arenas where you have been touching people. That's what I'm saying. It's a matter of function, and function depicts, not precedes, but depicts definition. Your definition will never change. You touched on purpose. Purpose never changes. Stagnancy now is a situation where you've spent on one perspective, and there's an element or an avenue within yourself that you have not decided to act upon. And one of those avenues and one of those areas, it's something that is not financially demanding. It's something that is not physically demanding, but it's something that is peculiar to you. The cruiser, peculiar to the cruiser, is go up that mountain. You don't have to work hard for it. That is what you were designed to do.
That's your purpose.
Bruh. With all these rains, and with a lack of roads, and you know when just a droplet falls from the cloud onto the road, how many drivers have failed to start driving? All of a sudden they are married to the brake pedal.
Yes, they go punk.
You know, somebody highlighted with it that most of these drivers that are here are less than 5 years on the road. So you can't blame them, because we've had droughts. You can't blame them. So I was laughing. So there's me. I see this massive hole. 2 days prior to that, I was road testing a car that had high clearance. So I went through the thing, no stress.
Problem.
I thought, there was nothing there. There's me with my car now. Driving. And then I just said, I didn't get stuck or anything. I was just like, ha. I drove off from there. I just started hearing, I was like, no, man. And it happened when I'm accelerating. And then sudden deceleration. I was like, no, man, this is not doing. And I continued. And I stopped by a fuel station. They had no fuel. I said, "Guy, I'm getting annoyed. Something's happening. Please, can I just use your lighting?" Check the car. I'm underneath. The stone had hit a shield, a heat shield, that was now rubbing against the prop shaft.
Ooh.
So I was like, in my mind, I had gone everywhere, bro. I was now thinking, oh my gosh. To me, the stagnancy was a representation of I can't fly, I can't drive like I stole it because this noise is, I don't know what else I've done. And I get there, I was like, oh, okay, something minor. I just jacked it up, got my tools, straightened it out. Happy days. But you know what I mean? So, perspective.
Yeah.
You change your perspective. So when you're saying "Wanga sticker," it is allowed. That's why they say falling is not the problem.
It's getting up.
It's getting up, because when you fall, you're focused on the thing that made you fall. And when you do that, you forget about the things that kept your balance. You catch my drift?
Yeah.
And so allow the stagnancy can lead to chaos. Kwandiri, to me, chaos / kustika comes after stagnancy. Okay. Stagnancy is a place where you have revved the engine enough in that gear. It's time to shift. And that's where it's time to shift. So shift the bugger. And it's true of January disease.
I'm going to post that one. It's time to shift.
Yeah. Bro, you've been posting, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. You've been posting. And many a time, when people say it's time to shift, they forget. Yeah, let me add on so that...
Stagnancy.
They forget that they're in a place where they've over-revved.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to change gears. Why? Because they feel if they change gears, they may not be able to move again. But the fact that you've revved the car, you've gained enough momentum. Why are you fearful? Because you are not functioning in your definition. That's what you need to define. That's why most of my stuff that I was posting on status is about definition. It's about how do you see yourself. Don't worry about how people see you. So what? That's why I got a bit emotional when you guys are telling me about people are saying I'm stereotyping, and this cat was saying, yeah, you're promoting. Hey, bruh, you define how things are in relation to what you are going through, because you failed to change gears, because you're not functioning in your definition. Every individual has a definition. Every individual has the right to be a maverick. Not changing is going to breed chaos, and then you're going to fall into the law where everybody's my one. I'm still in January. I went to see someone who said, hey, I'm still in January. I said, oh, really? I'm just pushing. Because you got to push.
Yeah.
So stagnancy and chaos, they're two different things. One needs to understand, am I in a place of chaos? Because chaos is where you're trying to figure out, what you know when everyone's just breathing. There's nothing that's coming out. Because they say there's so much that I need to do. No, there isn't so much. Just do one.
Yeah.
And when you do the one, everything else will fall in place. If it doesn't fall in place, it's okay. Do the one. And you'll notice that as you're doing the one, you'll be able to fulfill the needs of that doing that one, and then everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why they say a rolling stone gathers no moss. It's not that the moss isn't there.
But the stone is in constant motion.
It's in constant motion. You've always got to be in perpetual motion. Because the moment you stop, the dramas. Have you ever walked and you're dog tired, but you know you need to get to the
if you're going home? Yeah.
You're dog tired.
No matter how heavy the feet are.
You're dog tired, and everything around you is encouraging you to stop. But you know if you stop,
you ain't getting up.
Exactly. But you just keep yourself in perpetual motion. I used to walk through town, going to either I've dropped off a car or I'm going home or whatever. If I see I'm getting to traffic light and it's red and I need to, and it's encouraging me to stop. Yeah. What I do is I will just...
You take the other side.
I take another route.
Which is
or
green.
Take a side, which is green, yeah. So that I keep in motion.
Shout out to Johnny Walker, keep walking.
Keep walking. And for the individuals that think we're supporting alcoholism, go drink a straw. You know what I mean? I tell you, come on. Social media is such an animal that I like what Dave Chappelle said once.
Twitter's not a person.
Twitter's not a person.
It's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing. It's just come on.
How's that going to cancel culture?
Yeah, because I would have responded, but I realized Twitter's not a real place.
I want to use this metaphoric. Are you God who can just remove someone off the planet? How?
But anyway,
I agree. Well done. You've actually schooled me. Well done. You did that very eloquently. Eh?
I tried.
No, you did that very well, bro. Yeah, you know what? I want to keep score this season. Yeah, each time you kick my ass, or each time I kick your ass. And that one, you schooled me very well. I take that. That's a nice lesson.
Yeah, you've got it. You've got it. You know, because I was trying to tie everything in with our initial feeding, trying to remind people of season 1, love, sex, and money.
Yeah.
You will get to a place of stagnancy if you're in love. Or when you're in love, you will get a place of stagnancy if your love is where there's sexual activity going on. Let me just say sexual activity. And at work, when you're trying to bring in the paper, there will be a place of stagnancy. But you need to know within yourself, it's stagnant because how it was functioning before has reached its limit. Now you need to change gear.
Yeah, new possibilities.
And exactly, endless possibilities. That's where you come in the definition of the best or nothing. Being the best means you'll always adapt and you'll always do the most. Every single time. New ideas will just crop up. And I remember putting on post, I forget, I'll have to go back to it. I said, when you're functioning in your place of definition, things that are seen as, wow, you're doing something new. No, you're not doing anything new. You're just being who you are because you have changed gears. So many times you want to emulate or do what somebody else is doing. You don't have to, because if everybody did what somebody else was doing, you'd lose the plot.
Yeah.
Ferrari, when Lamborghini came to him and said, yo, guy, these are nice cars. And Ferrari goes, yeah, let me do cars. You stick with tractors. Because Lamborghini was a tractor engineer.
Yeah.
Now look.
You got Lambos everywhere.
Now look, you know what I mean? He's a force to reckon with because he shifted gears. Do something out of the box. You have no option. That is when you're able to do the most. Everybody can function in doing the most. When you begin to look for somebody to blame, look at yourself in the mirror and say, have you changed gears? Have you shifted? Before you even start asking that, who are you? Have you defined yourself? When you define yourself, when you define yourself, your purpose kicks in. And purpose has got nothing to do with what money you have, what car you drive, where you stay, what shoes you wear, how you smell. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got to do with the fact that you're functioning. And when you function, when you function, I'm there now.
He's on the roll.
When you function, I'm going to be very conscious about that. I'm going to try not to say it. I will try not to say it this season. But when you function, you're active. And being active has got nothing to do with what you are planning to do, but it's the fact that you are doing. Nike, just do it. Mercedes, the best or nothing. Pursuit of perfection. Whatever is going to tickle your fancy, power to surprise, but do. You can't say, I'm hungry, and the kitchen's got food. So what? It's going to miraculously appear on your plate. No, go do. Then while you are doing, you'll be like, that's pretty cool. And if you are somebody who has a family set up, as you are doing because you are hungry, you're feeding a whole lot of other people who then benefit from what you have done. And the purpose for every and any individual is to always serve. Always. If you are not serving, then you're a leech. And if you're a leech, people stay away from you. And then you get to a place where you're non-functioning because nobody stays on an island. Yeah, but you got to proact.
You react and you call people, you're masquerading prostitution.
Exactly. I tell you. You know, I almost got up. I think I was upset for like 5 minutes. Then I realized, oh no, he just doesn't have his shit together.
It's an opportunity for you to educate.
Yeah, you know, that's the way it is. So you always have to. So there is a difference between stagnancy and chaos. That's where I'm coming from.
No, this one you won. I've got nothing to say. I'm done. Mr. Producer, I'm done.
Yeah, I think, hey, Mr. Producer, I think we're cool. I think I got this one.
No, he got this one there. That's a wrap. Thank you.
This was Nokia today. Reset has to be HTC. Then reset is iPhone. Then
go back to minus. We're good to go. Where am minus? Go for it.
I'm just fed up.